welcome to your practice. Grab some blocks, meet me in a downward facing dog. Close your eyes and just begin to focus on the breath. Making your inhale and exhale even, drawing the breath in through the nose and out through the nose. And just begin to set your intention. And imagine, see yourself doing a float through. Open your eyes, grab your blocks, place them underneath your hands in your downward facing dog. We're just going to start by bending the knees. Inhaling, sit back, hips back to the heels. Exhale, straighten the legs. Take about 5 or 6 of those. Hips to heels, straighten the legs and lean forward. Now, sometimes when people bend the knees, I'm showing here, the hips are not going back toward the heels. You want the hips to go back toward the heels. I'm showing this image because this is the movement, the energetic action that you want your lower body, your hips, your buttocks to do when you try and float through. So I showed that right there. Now, however you can get back into your downward facing dog, we're just doing some drills. Bend through the knees, sit the hips back, keep the hips low, scoop the tailbone under, drag, float the legs forward, however you can get there. Go back into your downward facing dog. Very nice. Bend through the knees, inhaling, exhale, hips stay down, keep a round in your back. So there is a rounding in your back and in your low back. Bend through the knees, gaze forward, arms straight, resist the earth, and see how I'm keeping that connection with the thighs drawing and pulling up and in toward the navel. So I'm making the blocks a little less tall. You don't have to. You can stay with the variation that you have. Bend and straighten, bend and straighten. When you're ready, scoop and have a seat forward. Coming back into your downward facing dog, inhaling, sit back, scoop tailbone under, lean forward, and breathe. Downward facing dog, bend the knees, gaze forward, butt stays down. So often people raise their buttocks up or lift it up or jump it up into the sky. You want to think of keeping it down and making that little smiley face. So I've removed the blocks. This is the next option. Breathing here, sit back, float the legs forward. If it feels too intense for you, you can even put some socks on, get onto a floor where the feet will slide and slide the feet through until you feel a little more comfortable. So if you are on the blocks, you're practicing. These are opportunities to practice. Hopefully you're not just watching me, and float this all the way through. So coming back into a downward facing dog, breathing here. Walk the feet in. Once they get to the hands, cross the ankles. Keep everything lifted. We're coming into a seated position. This is a way to build strength. I often do this. Tippy toe, tippy toe. Find that place where you're having to work and strengthen, and then bring the legs through. Have a little float in the pike position before you sit the booty down. Gaze forward, tippy toe. Now, walk, walk, walk. There's the point. It's really hard. The upper back is rounded, the lower back is rounding, and we're having a seat. Good. Grab your blocks, place them mid-thigh. Lean forward, round the back, scoop the tailbone up toward the sky. Legs can float or not. Take 8 to 10. Keep the legs straight if possible. And lift and keep the back rounded so it's not a flat back here. And then make your way all the way into a downward facing dog. Nice. Hands on the block. Sit back, float through, pike, lower down. Come back into your downward facing dog. Bend through the knees. We're just building some strength. Sit, float through, keep the bum down, and come all the way down. Have a seat. back into downward facing dog. Bend through the knees, belly pulling in, straight through the legs, come all the way through. Last one on the blocks, or if you're using the blocks, you can continue using the blocks. And make sure you catch that pike right before you sit down, or try. Your feet or heels may touch the earth, but that's okay. Try and have the intention of being there. Now let's take a little back bend here. Left hand down, right arm up, right foot is down on the floor, a bent knee. Let's just bend the left leg, right hand down, hips come up, inhale. It's kind of like a wild thing, opening and breathing and stretching. Come all the way back down. Now, we're going for crow pose. So we're working on a jump into crow. Again, you're sitting the hips back toward the heels. Your tailbone stays down. See that scooping? Rather than going up or flying up, it's scooping up and under toward the triceps. The back is rounding slightly. You're trying to get the knees as high onto the triceps as you can. And the feet are dragging along the mat, or you are jumping and hopping into that position. Breathe. Now we're ready to try. Gaze forward, bend through the knees, hop, boom. You're right there, keeping that tailbone down rather than thinking of going up and over. So often people bring that hips up and over the shoulders, and it makes it almost impossible to do and land that Bakasana. See how the back and the tailbone and the booty are all rounding. If you find or catch air, hold for a few seconds, then come into a Malasana, right hand down, left arm up, gaze up to the sky. It's a Malasana Twist. Inhaling, exhaling, just do the opposite side. Breathing in fully, hands to heart center. Have a seat by rounding the spine and leaning forward. That counteracts the balance so that you can sit without falling. Take a nice forward fold. When you're ready, make your way all the way down into the mat. Grab your ankles, bending the knees. You're coming into bridge pose. Inhale up into a bridge pose and breathe. So my friend one time told me that she had been working on jump throughs forever and ever and ever, and she happened to be down on her hands, and she was going to get a toy for her child, and she just floated her legs right through, and then she realized that her butt was going up in the air too high for so long. So I'm taking a twist here. Take a twist, take all the time that you want in that twist, and then take a twist to the other side when you're ready. Deep, full breath in and relax. Let yourself go. Let it go. Let the body go. And then stretch the legs out. Come into Savasana pose. Let the feet turn out. Let your hand be one hand on the heart, one hand on your belly. Feel into the breath. Feel into the calm. Taking a moment to be grateful for this practice and for this connection and for life. Thank you. Thank you.